Hello everybody, welcome back to part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, I suggest that you head over and look at part 1 of the story time, okay? So in part 2, I'm gonna just dive a little bit more deeper into like the emotions I was going through in my marriage and how it actually like really broke in me. So my husband, despite how he grew up, it shaped his character, right? And my thing was, a lot of things that he was doing was like kind of shady sometimes. Like he was like tick for tat. I'm not a tick for tat person. So for me, it like was really getting to me that the fact that somebody claimed that they love me, as soon as I bring up an issue or something that he's doing to me, it's like he gets so defensive. And then all of a sudden, it's like he say the worst thing that hurt me. And I'm like, why would you do that? I don't do that. I'm not the type of person. I don't care how mad I get. I don't care how mad I get. I do not hit below the belt. I just don't do it because I believe in like words hurt. It really do. And people say, oh, words don't hurt. Yes, it do. It hurts. And I'm not the type of person to do that. So it was like he would really like hit below the belt sometimes. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. So that kept chipping away at my self-esteem, my confidence. So now, I start stress eating and I end up gaining weight. Now, of course I gained weight when I had my baby, but I ended up gaining more weight because, like I said, it was like sometimes, he was a parent, but I will say like I needed him more than, at that time. I needed more from him at that time. And sometimes he wasn't emotionally available when I needed him to be. So then it was like he would try to manipulate me in certain situations. And I really felt like I couldn't talk to nobody about it. I really felt like I couldn't talk to anybody. And, it really started chipping away with me, eating at me. And all I know is I just kept like saying, I gotta leave. And one day I just had enough, and something, and piggyback, like when I was pregnant, I would never forget. We got in this huge argument, and I was eating at the time, and I had me a steak. I cooked me a steak. I had me some seasoned potatoes and some broccoli on my plate, and he got so mad he literally took my plate. He picked it up and threw it in the trash can. And I'm looking at him like, what maniac do that? Like, I'm your wife and I'm pregnant, and you get so mad that you literally take my plate and throw it in the trash. I'm sorry. And I'm like, why? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, really? So you gotta think that kind of, that's a muscle memory. Like, I won't forget that. And I'm a very forgiving person, but one thing about it, like when somebody show me who they are, I believe it. So with me, I'm like, okay, I gotta go. At that time when I was pregnant, then I was like, no, I'm gonna stay because I got a baby. Now we fast forward. Now it's like, and again, worse with the manipulation, the gaslighting, just narcissistic behavior. And then, that's like I said, that's when I like really, really hone into myself and like, okay, like what's going on? Because you're not yourself no more. You can't recognize yourself. So with me, that's when I really start digging deep, like, planning my exit. I was planning my exit, really. And I know a lot of men don't understand that, but it's like when a woman mentally checked out. And my thing is, I gave him ample time. I'm not the type of person to let stuff fester and not say nothing. If I have a problem, I communicate with you about it, right? But my thing is, if you keep doing it over and over again, you say you're gonna change, you're not gonna do it again, you keep doing it, and it's like you do it like more times after the fact that you say you're not gonna do it again. It's like, okay, now at this point you don't respect me, you don't respect my boundaries. Why be with somebody or be friends with somebody or family members? Don't be around people that don't respect your boundaries. Okay, don't do it. So at that point, I checked out. When I mentally checked out, I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I gotta plan my exit. So now at this point, I'm like, okay, I gotta go. Like this is not for me. And like I said, at this time, I'm realizing, I'm like, at this time, I'm going through my healing journey. I'm like, how can I, like, I'm stagnant. in my on my journey. And I'm like, why am I so stagnant? Like, I was in like a space of confusion. I'm like, what's going on? And I realized, like, I'm in a toxic marriage. Like, at the end of the day, he's a good person, but like I said, when a person grow up in certain situations, it shapes their character. So I was really in a toxic situation. I'm not a toxic person. So I just had enough. And I realized, like, girl, this is a traumatic experience. This is trauma. How can you heal if you're staying with a person that is continuously causing havoc in your life? Okay, I was like, okay, now I gotta go. I was like, how can I heal and I'm with you? I can't do it. Like I can't choose both. I can't have my cake and eat it too. So I was like, okay, time for me to go. So before my lease was up, because I want to go a little bit further back so y'all can understand how I was just like mentally, I was really going through it, and that's when I really started doing my shadow work, really meet. And then the crazy thing is, I end up planning like a little get together with my family to like talk about our childhood and how we was brought up or whatever. So that was a part of my healing journey. That's something I needed to do because I realized that's where it all started at. You know what I'm saying? Like realizing, like, mom, the situation that I talked about in part 1, I'm like, okay, that shaped me. So it was like, emotionally, I'm not available. Like when somebody is like clouding, like taking up my space and not giving me enough space to think and breathe. And it's like, I feel like claustrophobic. And it's like, at that point, I kind of closed off. So I'm going, doing the work, doing my spiritual work or whatever. And I was like, okay, it's time to exit. So, I will say this, like, I'm not trying to play the blame game. I'm not here to do that. I'm just giving my perspective on what I've gone through. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to seem like I'm blaming him or anything. No, I'm not. I already took accountability. To him, I told him the things that I have done. I didn't have the best attitude. Like I said, because I was dismissive, avoidant when we try to communicate. And when his voice changes, like his tone of voice and the way he communicates kind of aggressive, I just shut off. I just like shut myself off from the world. I don't say anything. I understand that I took accountability where a certain situation could have been better. I take part on everything I have done, but one thing about it, I never been the type of person to deteriorate someone's character. And that's how I felt like, what was going on. And also, I respected him as well. And I wasn't getting it. It wasn't reciprocated. So that being said, marriage is what you make it to be. And unfortunately, for me, this was something I had to endure on my journey because I chose this path. And I don't regret it because it brought me here, which is a healed version of me right now. I'm in a good space. I'm still on my journey. I want to be the person that people can look at my story and realize, okay, if she got through it, I can get through it. And that would mean a lot to me because we don't really have people that look like us that really speak on issues when it comes down to in a marriage or what, as a woman, as a black woman, what we experience, because people always want to shun us and tell us be quiet and keep it moving. But it's like, don't keep silencing us. We are human beings. We are human beings. And I just want to be that voice to say, speak out, talk to somebody. But I will recommend, don't talk to somebody that don't look like you, because at the end of the day, they do not have the same experience as you. I'm sorry. They don't. They do not have the same experiences. They have not gone through, they don't. So if you do want to talk to someone, like I said, talk to someone that look like you, that can relate. Because people that can't relate, they're going off of a textbook. I don't mean no harm. My experiences are not in a textbook. Your experiences are not in a textbook either. So, now I'm in a good space. I'm at peace. And like I said, I will say he has grown a lot because he's seen I ain't putting up with none of his shenanigans. I'm not. He see that I legit moved on. I'm growing. He understand, like, things happen. And I don't think he came to terms with it just yet, but he has to heal in his way. And I had to realize that, people heal at different times, and sometimes some people get left behind. I understand that too. I had already came to terms with it. I'm okay with it. Because I know there's something greater on the other side. So for me, at this moment in time, I really just wanted to, like, say to the women, to the black women, that you need to find people that look like you and that has the same mindset as you. Be around people that, already walking in their highest self, or someone that's on that journey to their highest self, and I know it can be hard. Like I said, my content, I'm gonna go more into details about, my journey, when it came out to family, friends, my shadow work. Like, I want to go into details because I want to help you on your journey. I want to help you on your journey to healing, because we as black women, trauma is what's generational curses. That is generational curses, okay? Trauma that has been passed on from generation and generations. And do you want to stop that with you? Do you want to stop? Do you want it to stop with you? Because I don't know about you, but I know about me. It has to stop. I don't want to pass that on to my child. So I'm okay with doing the work. A lot of people don't want to do the work. I don't mind doing the work because I know for a fact that it will be fulfilling, and I don't want to pass it on. I really don't want to do that, and I know you don't want to either. So if you just on that path of enlightenment, congratulations, because it's a journey. That's something that people don't want to talk about, but it is a journey, but it is worthwhile. It is worthwhile. When you are in line, body, mind, and soul, it is amazing. It's the best feeling in the world. And before I go, I do want to say this before I go. I am so proud of myself because I am someone that is antisocial. I do not talk to people. I stay in my bubble. Like, people, introvert? I'm an introvert. I don't, If I have a conversation, it's because I want it to. I don't waste my time on conversations that don't serve me. I don't like to waste my time on conversation that will, like, kill my energy. Like, I have an energy budget, okay? And it took a lot for me to get on this camera. Like, I was very fearful of getting on this camera. I was so consumed with what I look like, what people going to say. Like, I was so afraid. I was very uncomfortable. I don't know if y'all can tell by the first video. I was very uncomfortable. Like, I was very uncomfortable. But I'm proud of myself because I actually, like, this is the huge milestone for me. Is for me coming out and telling my story and being on camera and being okay with it. I know I am beautiful inside and out. And I understand, like I said, this is my second video. So, only thing I can do is get better. But at the end of the day, I picked up my phone and I just start recording. And if you're someone that's like me and you have a story to tell, and source or the Most High has been nudging at you that you need to have a social media presence, do it. Because when I tell you when you do it, listen, it's gonna be a lot of weight off of your shoulders. I'm telling you, because you're gonna realize, oh, this wasn't nothing. This was all. It was just all in my head, and that's what it was. And I realized that I remember that is something that has been holding me back for a long time. Like, not like wanting to be seen. I really did not want to be seen. I was the type of person that wanted to, like, really be in the background. Didn't want to be seen, but I had a lot to say. My presence, like my silence, said a lot. But I realized, like, it's time for me to, like, really come on this platform and just really speak to those that's really serious about their, like, going on their journey of, like, enlightenment, their healing journey, self-development, personal growth, spiritual journey, whatever you want to call it. I just want to be that person that can just help you on your road, That's all I can do. Help you on your journey. That's all I want to do. Just be a voice for those that's kind of iffy on a straddling the fence, that want to go down that road. I just want to help you out. That's all. That's it. But I thank you guys so much for listening to part 1 and part 2. And like I said, if you have not listened or watched part 1, I suggest you go and look at part 1. But thank you so much, you guys. And like I said, the best thing in the world is to be yourself. Don't let nobody be the creator or the writer of your world. You write your own destiny. Don't let nobody else do it for you. All right, you guys. Thank you.